on this, but I'm going to show you how to access the other bolts that hold in the 2 components that we needed to replace. Unfortunately, it turned into 3. I'll explain in just a second here. All right, so for your idler, you're going to come over to the passenger side, guys, and you've got 2 holes in the frame, one there and one there. Those 2 holes go straight through to an 18 millimeter nut, and you'll need an 18 millimeter wrench on the other side to hold the nut. This is for the bolts. So you need a long extension to go through the frame, and you're going to use an impact with the wheel off and take those loose. Now I choose not to pull those bolts out because otherwise I have to fish them out through this pocket here in the frame. I don't like doing that. So I usually use the extensions. I get 2 different extensions and I leave them in there, pushing the bolts in. That way they don't fall out. Best way to do the idler arm. The last bolt on the idler arm is on the cross-link bar that it bolts to. That is a 21 millimeter, but there's a cotter pin in it. So you need to take the cotter pin out, take the nut off, and you can push or press that piece out. Oftentimes, if you can lightly tap it with a hammer and they'll come loose. And what that looks like is this here. I know this is a different vehicle, but here's the castle nut and the cotter pin. That thing needs to get done soon. So there's a plan of attack for that one this weekend. All right, so we're going to come over here to our driver's side. The driver's side is a little bit more problematic. Anytime you're going to do anything with the steering gearbox, you will have to drain the fluid. There will be a line down there below your intake tube. If you have the cold air intake, you'll have to take this out. You're also going to have lines down there. Right down there, 2 lines. I take both lines loose, even though I'm disconnecting it here. I take both of them loose so that I can inspect that hose. You'll take those loose, and there's a wire attached to that. On the passenger side, you're going to come through here, and you have bolts in the frame. I have one there, one down there, and one behind. Oh, sorry, right there. So 1, 2, 3. Those 3 hold the gearbox in place. You will need to take those out to pull the gearbox out. But here's the trick. There is a bunch of transmission lines and some oil cooler lines, or I should say it's not an oil cooler, it's an oil filter relocation housing. So those lines come forward and you're going to have to slide that gearbox down and out and away from everything. There is a snake hole that you basically feed that gearbox through. You can take it out without removing the Pitman arm. The Pitman arm is attached to the gearbox. On this particular vehicle, where it failed was the Pitman arm, the knuckle part of it that attached to the crossbar, had locked up. That in turn started taking and tearing into the gearbox, creating a tremendous amount of slop in the gearbox. When I took it out, I was able to move the gearbox on the Pitman arm, but the knuckle part of it was locked tight. So that created a bunch of weird oversteer issues, understeer issues. It made the vehicle feel like an old lumber wagon. So if you have one of these and you're noticing that feeling, chances are you have a gearbox issue and you're going to need to replace that gearbox. The gearbox is not cheap, guys. It's over $400, usually your cost, and it's even more to replace it. You're looking at probably a good half a day's worth of work to tear all this down and get in there. I know I got a little long with this one, but I really wanted to dig into this and let you guys know that this is an extensive repair on these vehicles. It is a problem for these vehicles. And once you know how to do it, you can do it yourself. But just know that you're going to take some time. You're going to make some mess with some fluid. And in the end, you will need to get in alignment. I'm going to cover that in the next video. Guys, thank you for tuning in.